reason that the national parks are so visited and so special is because they are for everyone.
And we need to make sure that there is room for all American stories in our national parks, not just some.
That's powerful. That makes you kind of check your humanity.
Just the fact that NPCA is so committed to conservation, historic preservation, tribal interests, it's just so important that we look for these places around the country like we did with Maine.
The woods, to me, was a place where you got wood, you cut it down, you brought it to the mill.
And a lot of people had looked at the landscape here that had begun to start to fail them as an economy. Like the resource extraction to make paper was not working anymore.
When the mill closed, the silence was deafening. And people longed for their lifestyle, their income, their vibrancy.
It's not that this landscape is failing you. The landscape is amazing. We just have to think about it in a different way. And what if we set it aside for conservation into perpetuity?
We've been able to get more money for park personnel, and Katahdin has benefited from it. And we will continue to do that kind of advocacy both in DC and here in Maine to make sure this park unit can thrive.
I mean, NPCA was just instrumental.
Their expertise really defined what the campaign would look like. And working with them over the course of 6 years was ultimately what got it across the finish line.
We all came to the same conclusion that it was worth protecting, it was worth saving.
We started this work back in 2010. The herd of pronghorn in Yellowstone in the 2000s was very small. It actually dropped below 200 individuals, and they could be wiped out completely. Because we're able to work outside of park boundaries to support park wildlife, we would get involved and start removing fences that were barriers to these pathways pronghorn were going on. And so since then, we have not only removed barriers, but we've worked with landowners to modify fences.
Every day, I mean, this is my office. You know, it's pretty special to be able to be outside and work with the land and be an extension of the park a little bit.
This is about the people. This is about how you're interacting with these landowners and being really respectful.
It's been great working with the NPCA for close to 8-9 years now, and I hope we can continue that relationship, make a better Paradise Valley.
The people here have shown themselves to be willing, believe it or not, to reckon with themselves, right? To reckon with our history.
But part of protecting America's legacy, part of protecting the legacy of our civil rights history, is recapturing this structure and turning it into a place that can protect and preserve the history in an adequate and just way. And that's what we've done with this campaign.
And to the credit of Alan and NPCA, I think one of the really good things, one of the many good things about their involvement with this endeavor is their continuous voicing of hearing the hearts of the people in these locations.
There are things that are happening right now in this community that are bringing people together in the name of preservation to help protect and preserve in perpetuity a really challenging story. This is exactly the kind of story that we want in the hands of the National Park Service because they've got a lot of experience telling challenging stories that are absolutely critical if we want to move forward together as a country.
You know, we owe it to her memory and the thousands of others that died just because, you know, they wanted their humanity respected.
Conservation is something that many of us deeply hold in our hearts. We believe that places need to be protected for so many different reasons.
It's just one of the most important parts of the work is being really respectful, working with people and finding common ground.
Against all odds, when in a place like Sumner, there was nothing on the side of African Americans who were struggling to fight against racism and bigotry and to end segregation. Not a thing on their side. They prevailed. And we're here because they prevailed. That's a legacy for you.